There's a moment when you're at your lowest. You feel the world closing in, the weight on your chest so suffocating you can barely breathe. You feel trapped, like there's no way out. The pain is unrelenting, a constant reminder that life, this cruel, relentless beast, has you in its grip. You start to wonder if you'll ever escape this hell, if you'll ever rise above the ashes. But let me tell you something. Survival is my revenge. They thought the fire would consume me. They thought that throwing me into the darkest, deepest pits would break me. They underestimated my will, my determination, my hunger to rise above it all. They didn't realize that when you survive hell, you come out unrecognizable, stronger, more dangerous. This isn't just about survival, it's about becoming more powerful because of what you've endured. So, if you're listening to this and you feel like you're at rock bottom, don't you dare give in. Hell couldn't break me, and it won't break you either. You're never really prepared for it. Hell doesn't announce itself. One moment, you're moving through life, doing your best to keep things together, and then, without warning, it hits. Sometimes it's a betrayal, sometimes it's loss, sometimes it's a series of failures that compound until you're buried beneath them. You wake up one day, and it feels like the entire universe has conspired against you. And maybe it has. For me, hell wasn't just one thing. It wasn't just one event. Like I was constantly fighting a battle I couldn't win. Every door that should have opened slammed shut. Every person who said they would be there for me vanished when I needed them the most. I was abandoned, broken, left to fend for myself in a world that didn't give a damn. Have you been there? Have you felt that darkness creeping in, wondering if you're going to make it out alive? If you have, then you know what I'm talking about. You know how it feels to be standing at the edge, staring into the abyss, questioning whether you have the strength to keep going. But here's the thing about hell. Once you're in it, you have two choices. Let it consume you, or survive it. There was a day when I almost gave up. I remember it clearly because it was the day I realized just how far I had fallen. I was sitting in a room, alone, staring at the walls that had become my prison. The people I thought I could count on had turned their backs, and the life I had once envisioned was nothing more than a distant memory. I had nothing left. No hope, no strength, nothing. This is what they want. This is what the world expects. For you to crumble, for you to break. They expect you to stay down because that's what makes them feel superior. They want you to believe that this is the end, that there's no way out of the darkness. But in that moment, something shifted inside me. It wasn't hope. Hope is a fragile thing. What I felt was rage. Rage at the injustice, rage at the betrayal, rage at the fact that I had been pushed so far down that I almost forgot who I was. That rage ignited something in me. It wasn't about getting back what I lost. It was about proving that no matter how hard they tried, they couldn't break me. Surviving would be my revenge. It wasn't about winning anymore. It was about outlasting. About showing the world that even after they dragged me through hell, I was still here, standing, breathing, fighting. Surviving hell isn't pretty. It's messy, it's brutal, and it's relentless. You don't just wake up one day and suddenly everything is fine. Claw your way out, inch by inch. Every day is a fight. Every day you wake up, and it feels like the world is still trying to push you back into that pit. But you push back harder. You learn to embrace the pain, because that's all you have left. Pain becomes your fuel. The more it hurts, the stronger you become. The more you endure, the less they can take from you. People always talk about getting through hard times like it's some kind of enlightenment. But the truth is, survival is raw. It's not elegant. It's you, battered and bruised, but still breathing, still alive. When you survive hell, you don't come out unscathed. You come out with scars, reminders of the battles you fought. But those scars, they're your trophies. They're the proof that you're stronger than anything they threw at you. And every time you look at them, you remember, they couldn't break you. They don't tell you this, but being broken isn't the end. It's the beginning. When you're broken, You're no longer bound by the same rules. You've already lost everything, so what more can they take from you? You're free in a way that terrifies them, because when someone who's been to hell comes back, they're not afraid anymore. Fear is what holds most people back. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough. But once you've faced all those fears head on and survived, nothing scares you. That's the power of being broken. It strips you down to your core, and what's left is untouchable. You realize that nothing in this world can truly destroy you because you've already walked through the fire and emerged on the other side. You're stronger, more resilient, more dangerous than you ever were before. And that's what they don't understand. The ones who tried to break you, the ones who thought you'd never rise again. They have no idea who you've become. They expected you to stay in the dark, to remain shattered and weak. But what they failed to realize is that hell didn't break you. It transformed you. People always think revenge is about getting even, about striking back and making them suffer the way you did. But real revenge isn't about them. It's about you. It's about surviving when they expected you to fall. It's about thriving when they wanted you to disappear. It's about standing tall when the world tried to bury you. My revenge isn't about making anyone else pay for what I've been through. My revenge is my existence. It's the fact that after everything they did to me, I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I'm still fighting. And that drives them insane because they know they can't touch me anymore. Survival is the ultimate revenge because it shows them that no matter how hard they tried, they failed. They couldn't break me. They couldn't destroy me. Every time they see me, every time they hear my name, they're reminded of their failure. That's the power of surviving hell. You become a symbol of resilience, a living reminder that even the worst circumstances couldn't bring you down. When you finally emerge from the depths of hell, you're not the same person who fell in. You're stronger, harder, more resilient. You faced the worst that life could throw at you, and you came out the other side. But that doesn't mean it's over. The battles don't stop. Life will keep testing you, pushing you, trying to drag you back into that pit. But now, you know how to fight. Now, you've been to the depths and survived, and that makes you unstoppable. You've learned to turn your pain into power, to take the darkness and use it as fuel. You're no longer afraid of what the world can do to you because you've already survived the worst. Rising from the ashes isn't about pretending the pain never happened. It's about embracing it. It's about acknowledging that hell was real, that it tried to break you, but it failed. It's about using that pain, that darkness to fuel your rise, to propel you forward. When you survive hell, you become something else entirely. You're no longer the person who was afraid, who was weak, who was broken. You're unbreakable now. The world can throw whatever it wants at you, and you'll still stand tall because you've already been through the worst. There's nothing left to fear. The people who doubted you, who betrayed you, who left you to suffer in the dark, they no longer matter. Their opinions, their judgments, their attempts to tear you down are meaningless because they failed. You're not the same person they thought they could break. Now you walk through life with a new power, a new strength. You're not looking for approval or validation. You've already proven to yourself that you're enough. You don't need anyone else to tell you that. You survived. That's all the proof you need. The world fears those who can't be controlled. It fears the ones who refuse to bend, who refuse to be shattered by the weight of suffering. The greatest fear they have isn't of your weakness, it's of your strength. Because once you've survived hell, they can no longer control you with fear, pain, or doubt. You've been through the worst, and you're still standing. And that terrifies them. When you're no longer afraid, when their attempts to manipulate you fall flat, you become unpredictable. You're no longer operating within the rules they laid out for you. They wanted you to be dependent on their approval, on their validation, on their acceptance. But hell taught you that the only validation you need is your own. The only approval that matters is the one you give yourself. Now, you walk through the world differently. You no longer seek to appease or beg for recognition. You've discovered that surviving hell gave you something most people will never have: true freedom. freedom from fear, freedom from the chains they tried to wrap around your soul. And when you're free, truly free, nothing can hold you back. Nothing can contain you. They fear what you might become because they know they can no longer break you. They know that every time they try, you'll come back stronger. There's a point in every journey through hell where you realize something fundamental. You're alone. And while that might have once terrified you, now it's where you draw your strength. There's power in isolation. When no one stands beside you, when no one offers a helping hand, you learn to rely on yourself in ways you never thought possible. Isolation reveals your true strength. It strips away all the noise, all the distractions, and forces you to confront who you really are. It's easy to think that you need others to survive, that without them, you're lost. But the truth is, isolation is where you find out just how capable you are. In hell, you learn to trust yourself. Your decisions, your instincts, your strength, it all comes from within. No one can take that from you. When you've spent long enough in the dark, you begin to see that the only person you can truly count on is yourself. And that's not a weakness. That's a source of unshakable power. They tried to isolate you as a way to weaken you. They thought if they left you alone, you'd crumble under the weight of your own thoughts. But what they didn't understand is that isolation was the forge that made you stronger. When you stand alone and survive, you prove that you don't need anyone's support to keep going. You're enough, just as you are. There's a fire that burns inside you when you've survived hell. It's not a fire of rage, though that's part of it. It's a fire of determination, a flame that refuses to be extinguished no matter how hard they try to snuff it out. This fire is what drives you forward, what keeps you moving even when everything around you is telling you to stop. That fire is your power. It's what makes you relentless. Every time they pushed you down, every time they tried to extinguish your spirit, that fire burned hotter. It fueled you, even when you were too exhausted to continue. It kept you alive when everything around you was screaming for you to give up. Hell didn't create this fire. It revealed it. It showed you the depths of your own strength, the untapped power that lay dormant within you. And now, that fire is unstoppable. It's the reason you can stand tall, even when the world tries to knock you down again. It's the reason you'll never quit, no matter how many obstacles they put in your way. This fire isn't just a tool for survival, it's a weapon. It's the force that propels you forward, that makes you unafraid to face the darkness again if you have to. Because you know that no matter how dark things get, that fire will always burn inside you, guiding you through the night. Victory isn't what they told you it would be. It's not about wealth or fame or validation from others. Real victory is surviving when they thought you'd fall. It's thriving when they hoped you'd fade away. Victory is standing in the face of everything they threw at you and saying, "I'm still here." When you've survived hell, your definition of success changes. It's no longer about meeting the expectations of others. It's about proving to yourself that you're stronger than anything life can throw at you. It's about knowing, deep down, that you've already won the greatest battle. The battle for your own survival. They thought victory was about crushing you. They thought if they could take everything from you, you'd have nothing left. But what they didn't understand is that victory isn't about what you have. It's about who you are. And you are someone who has survived the worst. Someone who has faced down their demons and come out stronger on the other side. Your victory isn't about proving anything to them. It's about proving everything to yourself. It's about knowing that no matter what happens next, you've already won. Because you didn't let hell break you. You didn't let the darkness consume you. You rose from the ashes, and now you're unstoppable. In the end, the ultimate revenge isn't about seeking out those who hurt you. It's not about making them pay for what they did. The ultimate revenge is living a life they never thought you could have. It's about thriving in a world they tried to push you out of. It's about becoming someone they no longer recognize. Someone stronger, someone wiser, someone they can no longer control. Your revenge is in your existence. Every breath you take is a testament to their failure. Every step you take forward is a reminder that you survived what they thought would destroy you. They thought hell would be your end, but it was just the beginning. The beginning of a new chapter, one where you call the shots, one where you dictate your own fate. Living beyond hell means embracing your scars, not as signs of defeat, but as symbols of your resilience. It's about looking at the world with a new perspective, knowing that nothing they throw at you will ever break you again. You're unshakable now. You're a force they can't reckon with. Your survival wasn't just about making it through, it was about rising above. It was about becoming more than they ever thought you could be. And that's the true revenge. Not bitterness, not retaliation, just survival in its purest, most powerful form. They thought they were sending you to hell, but all they did was set you free. Now you walk through life on your terms. Now you are a living embodiment of defiance, of strength, of power. You are the survivor who turned hell into their greatest weapon, and that, above all else, is your revenge. Hell couldn't break me, and it won't break you either. Surviving hell isn't just about getting through it. It's about becoming stronger because of it. It's about using the pain, the darkness, the betrayal as fuel for your rise. It's about standing tall, scars and all, and realizing that those scars aren't signs of defeat. They're marks of resilience, of battles fought and won. Each moment you endured was another step toward becoming who you are today. Unbreakable, untouchable, and unafraid. Every tear, every wound, every heartache, none of it was in vain. Because you are still here. You are still standing, and that alone is the greatest victory. Survival is the ultimate victory. It's not about forgetting what happened or pretending the pain wasn't real. It's about acknowledging that despite everything, you refuse to fall. It's about proving, to yourself more than anyone, that you are stronger than they ever imagined. The fire inside you burns brighter because of the darkness you've faced. The strength within you grew because of the battles you've survived. In a world that tried to crush you, your existence is defiance. Every step forward is an act of rebellion against the forces that sought to break you. Your survival is your revenge. Hell couldn't break you. In fact, it made you indestructible. And now, you are a symbol of endurance, of power, of victory that goes beyond any external measure. You've faced the worst and risen above it, stronger, fiercer, and more determined than ever. The world will never be able to take that away from you. Survival isn't just something you do. It's who you are. It's the proof that no matter what they throw your way, you will always rise, stronger than before. Victory is yours, and nothing can ever take that from you. You've survived hell, and that's the greatest victory of all. By the way, if you want to level up in life, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.